Testicular gambling gone horribly wrong. Hi, I'm Oliver Brackenbury, and welcome to In a Handful of Minutes, the show where we review everything else. In this week's show, we're reviewing fan fiction, which is when fans of a series or a singular work decide to write stories of their own containing a mixture of, say, Doctor Who and their own inventions. Fan fiction is a great way to take a first stab at writing, express your love for someone else's work, and get those dang characters to finally do what you wish they would have done. Of course, wish fulfillment is a big part of why fan fiction can get a bit of a bad reputation. The worst offenders are slash fiction, which we'll get to in a second, and Mary Sue's. The name for that technique comes from a character of the same name written to spoof the original fanfiction characters, who were very young, brilliant at everything, and super charming, and who would inevitably impress Captain Kirk into saying crap like, "Great Scott! I've never seen a cadet as young as Ensign Brackenbury perform the Tuvok butt massage with such tenderness before." We're not talking about slash fiction yet. A big part of what makes Mary Sue's and fan fiction so obnoxious is that they are almost always just a substitute for the authors themselves, sometimes actually just being the author, which is referred to as self-insertion. Okay, now we're talking about slash fiction. The other thing that tends to give fan fiction a bad rap is a subgenre, slash fiction, which can be broken down into a lot of terms denoting a mixture of genders, animals, and or spaceships having sex. But the classic slash fic was wishing there was more representation of gay relationships on Star Trek, and voila, Kirk / Spock were getting it on. That's good. But the real problem begins when you start writing fan fiction about real people, not fictional characters. I'm not going to name names, but there's a strong slash fiction community that writes exclusively in the pairings of various YouTube stars. Inevitably, evidence of this finds its way back to the people who have been appropriated for the online erotic fantasies of others, and, well, remember that time when you found that erotic story of you and your best friend on your coffee table? Of course you don't. That's because you screamed, blacked out, fell, and smashed your head on the coffee table. Luckily for you, a shard of glass pierced your brain and took out the offending memory. Mix a Mary Sue character into a slash fic, and you might as well knock it up a notch and turn it into a folk song, which is a filk, by the by. Still, for all the unsavory and asinine avenues that fanfiction may go down, defenders of fanfiction will always rightly be able to brag that a huge percentage of their writers are women, which is a nice break from the usual when it comes to art, don't you think? So fanfiction, yay or nay? For fun? Sure, why not? Want to be a writer? Maybe as a baby step, but eventually you'll have to write your own stuff since that's what'll help make you stand out. Creepy stuff about living people? No, not really. Unless we're talking globally recognized celebrities, and then it's technically still wrong. Just more socially acceptable. All these facets of fan fiction leads us to our confusing and, some would say, morally ambiguous thumbs asynchronous. Now I think it's only fair that I try writing some fan fiction myself. Maybe I'll post it on Tumblr for you guys to read. Anyway, see you next time. Dog murder.
Clown wrestling.
Clown wrestling.
Babies committing crimes against other babies.
Babies. I'm sorry, one sec. Hi, I'm Oliver Brackenbury. Is it necrophilia if they're both dead? I've never seen a cadet as young as Ensign Brackenbury perform the Tuvok butt massage with such tenderness before. Ran out of breath. Tickle fights gone horribly wrong. Defenders of fanfiction will always be able to write, why? Testicular cancer
That usually goes horribly wrong.
Got horribly wrong. Okay, I got it.